You so messy.
Oh, look at it. Whoa. What's poppin', people?
What's poppin'?
Yo, we are back in the building.
Yes, sir.
I'm not going to take this lady free part. I'm not, I'm about to get all excited, Go ahead.
All right, well, you already know what it is. This is Shift Real Talk TV. This is a podcast where we talk about love, life, and relationships. And just know this. Our desire is that you get healing, that you get help on this journey called life. So tune in every Tuesday at 8 o'clock. Share this with your friends, your family. It's just a good time of conversation, real, raw, and unfiltered. So right now, we got a dope fireball show for you. And without further ado, I'm your girl, Lady Free.
I'm your boy, Pastor J. And we got some ammunition with us tonight, y'all.
Yes.
We invited a very dear good friend of ours.
Absolutely.
She's not even a friend. We ain't even gonna call her. She's family.
She like family.
She's a sister, man. And she is real. She's doing her thing out here in the Houston area.
Absolutely.
I'm saying her name is Talking Tea with Tony.
Talking tea. Clock that.
Clock that. Talking
Right?
Tea with Tony. Hey,
That's
talk
right.
to us. How are you doing, sis?
I'm doing good. I'm absolutely just doing great.
We are so excited to have you on the show. Finally, this has been a long time coming.
Finally.
She actually has, again, like her own podcast,
Right.
Talking Tea with Tony, so y'all can look that up. Go and check her out, y'all. She's doing
Absolutely.
some big things in the community, and definitely shifting Talking Tea. We're gonna team up, man. We're gonna do some ministry together.
Wow.
First and foremost, and then she's a playwright. She wrote a couple of plays. I remember she had some big plays that was out here.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
she's an author. She got a lot going on. You know what I mean? You got a lot going on. And she's a mom. She's a wife. She's a woman of God. So listen, y'all. I'm talking for you. I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. You're doing good.
Am I doing
You're
good?
Doing good.
So talk about what.
Pull
So
your mic a little bit
Okay.
closer to you.
Okay,
Thank
cool.
you.
there you
That's
go.
good.
That's great. So like tell us a little bit about your podcast. Like, what's going on? What is it covering? And, where can they find you?
Yeah. Okay. So you said it. Talking Tea, Destiny Talk with Tea with Tony. I actually started back in 2015, 16 when I was with Pastor Christopher. He actually had a little studio, and I was
Okay.
like doing radio, right?
Okay.
And then from there, I stopped a little bit. And so I'm like, okay, God, I know that's, you keep calling me. And I'm just like, I had a little insecurity, to be honest with you, because, sometimes when you talk to people, they'll tell you, you're not ready. That's not for you. You don't have any skills.
Oh, wow.
But when God give you a gift,
You better
That's
know
right.
it.
those are your skills. And he spoke to me. He said, don't listen to the naysayers. I gave you that gift,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I started dabbing back up into podcasts and things like that of that nature. And so I'm back doing it. And so,
I know it was always because we actually used to be neighbors, y'all.
yeah,
we used to,
we
we used to-
were.
Yeah.
and how we ran into each other. So we was on the same hallway, and we would come across each other, and we was telling her.
Yeah.
I remember telling you what we were doing, and I think you had your own little setup at
Yeah,
one time.
I did.
You had your own. You saying, hey, so it wasn't by chance that we met, but so I'm
Right.
really glad that we actually came across and we met you, and you an awesome woman of God.
Thank you.
And one thing I realize and I understand is that a lot of times the enemy doesn't, the way he stops us or tries to stop us is he don't literally try to stop you. He just makes you fearful. Or
Come on.
he influences or attacks at your fear.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
that's how he tries to stop you,
Yeah.
because if you're fearful, then guess what you do? You stop or
Fear
you start thinking.
paralyzes.
So he is clever enough to say, I'm going to throw a little fear. I'm going to let her,
Yep.
I'm going to make her think. I'm going to tell her, the people ain't going to accept you. Because that's what we went through. We had no...
We was nervous.
We were nervous,
Yeah.
but boom, tell
We
me
were
now. We got
nervous.
this thing down
Well,
pat.
I'm telling you, the enemy already know what's about to happen,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
From the beginning.
Right.
So he'll throw those fear tactics and all those things in your way, so you won't, have the ammunition that you have.
Absolutely.
He don't want it to explode. So
Okay,
I
come
say, you
on.
know what? I had to put him behind.
Yeah.
And I had to just continue to do
better
walk the
know
walk and do God's calling.
Come
for
on
my
here.
life.
You
Come
gotta
on
walk
here.
in it.
Yeah.
The devil thought he had me. Come on, but I
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We
Yeah.
patted,
got away.
Patty
That's what he
LaBelle.
did. That's what he did. That's what he did. He
Patty
tried. He
La-
thought he had me. It was
Yes.
I
plenty
should
of
have bought a
time.
Honda, but he bought a Toyota.
And y'all listen. Listen, tonight we are talking about something that is really dear to my heart. I've been through it. Survival mode, hiding or healing, that's the question. When you're in survival mode, sometimes you don't even know that that's what it is. It's like the foundation of it is self-preservation. But what we have to do tonight, we have to unlearn, how about that? Unlearn the survival mode that we are currently in so we can build healthy relationships, healthy intimate relationships. And trust me when I tell you, you do not want to miss talking tea with Toni on these subjects. She's raw, she's real. She didn't even do herself justice by introducing herself. Sometimes it's easier for other people to sing your praises, right? Raw, real, uncut, unfiltered, and her whole desire is the same as ours. We are kindred spirits when it comes down to helping people to heal.
Amen.
So that's what we're talking about
So
today.
are we healing
Or are we hiding?
Mm.
That's the question.
That's
so let's
good.
get into it.
That's
Let's
good.
get
That's good.
into it.
I just want, before y'all start, I want y'all to know I changed 3 times. Okay. God said you need to put your war clothes on.
You better
So
put
I
them
got-
war clothes on.
She got her war clothes on.
You better
So-
put
She
them
She got her
war
war clothes
clothes
on.
on.
War clothes on. War clothes on.
Yes.
She got her war.
Oh my God, help us.
All right,
Help us.
I ain't gonna sing no more. But anyway,
Okay,
so
let's start this topic off.
Let's start it off.
Let's get
I'm
it.
gonna start it off like this. Healing is not pretty.
Hmm.
It is getting in the gutter.
Yeah.
It is truly getting in places and spaces that you don't even like.
That you don't want to see.
And a lot of times when we get in those spaces, or because we are in that ugly stage of our
Yeah.
life, we hide that part because we want people to see the hidden part of us. You know, we want people.
the good
we want people to
stuff.
see the good
Right.
stuff, but we never ever bring in the forefront those ugly places about ourselves.
Yeah.
Right.
And because of that, because of those ugly places, they get touched because we don't expose it.
What do you mean?
Meaning that if I'm hiding the fact that I'm angry,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't know that I'm an angry person because I'm always showing you a jolly person,
Right.
what I do is get touched by something that you may have said because it may have triggered that anger that's still deep down inside that I didn't even tell you that I had.
Mm-hmm.
So it comes out and what you talking about? And I'm screaming because that's a place that I'm still hurting in. It's a place that I still need to heal in. So we deal with this hidden self that we don't want nobody to see.
Right.
So because we don't realize that healing is not a pretty thing.
And
It is not.
growing pains. Growing pains. Think about that.
Yes.
You said healing is not pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Growing pains are real.
Right.
But in order for me to grow,
You
what
gotta
do
go
I have
through.
to do? I gotta go
You gotta
through
go
it.
through it.
I gotta surround myself with people where I could be ugly with.
That's right.
Not ugly as far as my attitude nasty and stink all the time. I'm talking about I
Testing.
can be
Yeah.
ugly.
Right.
The ugly part of me can show, and they will be honest enough with me to say, sis, that ain't cool. Why'd you do? I have a home. I got a good girlfriend. When I tell you she's like my bestie. We call ourselves bestie sisters. She will ask the questions. She don't just say, why you do that? What you do? She don't do that. She say, okay, you sis, so why you say it? Why you think like that? She makes me think because I'm a thinker
Right.
and I'm a talker.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she makes me think. And in thinking, a lot of times she put me to shame.
Mm.
Cause I'm
I'm sure it's not bad.
baby, not put me to shame like in a negative way.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I'm a good hider.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I actually have a sister friend that actually just put me in check recently. There's some things that I came out of character, and she told me, she said, "No, you can't get out of character."
Wow.
She said, "You got too much going on for yourself. You cannot get
Yes,
out of character." And she put
absolutely.
me back in place.
Wow.
That was painful,
Yes.
because I went to a place where actually I didn't want to go, but the person took me there,
Mm-hmm.
and I allowed it, and I know better.
Right.
So she
Right.
told me I had got out of character.
Well, if the person was able to take you there, I believe that that's still a place that needs to be healed. Because if you come out of character, that's just a place of, I need some help in this place still.
Yeah,
It's still there.
yeah, but look, that was some 10, 20, 15 years of pain
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
that
Oh, yeah.
came out of me
Oh,
Right.
Yeah.
that I've been suppressing.
Yes.
See,
Hiding.
we
Yep.
could suppress stuff for such a long
Oh,
time.
absolutely.
But it takes that one person
Oh, yeah.
to
Oh, yeah.
trigger you.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Triggers,
Right.
to take you there.
Oh, yeah.
So I went there.
Yeah,
And
I
so
get
it could be pain from my childhood that I
Yeah.
held on,
Yeah.
that I thought I was healed from, pain from my marriage,
Yeah. Wow.
pain from, children,
Yeah.
my kids. It could be pain from even just going through something simple with a job if I had a bad day at work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So but it's just, all those things just flared up, and it just took me there, and that one person got it all.
Wow.
Oh my.
I always say that it is hard to heal in places that you're not willing to reveal.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can mask it, because we one thing we do great is we put mask on.
Mm-hmm.
We know how to we know how to cover up
Yeah.
the things that need to be uncovered.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's be honest. Let's be honest about one thing though. We live in society where, first of all, who are you gonna show those that side of you to without being judged wrongly?
That's right.
The Bible say judge not yet lest you be judged, but it didn't say that we're not to judge at all.
Mm-hmm.
Judge rightly.
Right.
But who today in this society is really going to put their truth out there? Because we live in such a judgmental society, and then
That's true.
especially with social media,
Yes.
you better not come on there without a filter.
That's right.
You better not get on social media without your hair done, your side
That's true.
side edges right. Everything has to be perfect, or else once you get in a vulnerable state and you may hurt somebody's feelings in your circle, they go back and pull up a picture on Facebook and they enlarge it to show your edges ain't even
Yes,
right. Why you
right,
sitting up here talking
right.
about me? And they belittle you and they downgrade you and tell your business.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So who is it? The whole point is we have to be transparent if we are going to heal. So imagine the world we live in today, a very unhealed world.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. Now, people that knows me, they know that I'm a very private person.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows me that know that I am a private person. But my other half,
Come on with it.
he's not a private person.
Mm-hmm.
He would tell every single thing. He'll tell everything. So I don't post a lot of pictures of I and my husband.
Mm-hmm.
So it came to me, and to my understanding, like, are they separated? Are they not together?
Mhm.
These are type of things the people,
Yeah.
just trying to figure everything out,
Uh-huh.
right?
Mhm.
So I don't put a lot of my business on social media. So people try to figure me out.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like he
Uh-huh.
was saying about social media and, people
Yeah.
trying to figure things out. And I think I protect a lot of things that go on in my life. I protect my family. I protect my children, my
Mhm.
grandkids. And so it's a lot of things that I just don't put on social media.
My question, I mean, and like this is not me getting on you at all. I'm not doing that at all. But
No,
I'm
you're
just,
doing- you're good.
but I have a question. Why do you go into protective mode?
Why I go in protective
Yeah.
mode?
Why do you feel that you
Okay.
are the one that
Transparency, right?
Yes. Just,
Okay, let's
this
be
is-
real.
yeah,
Let's be real.
100.
Okay, 100. Okay, so I won't put pictures out there because I don't want to do a facade. Okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't want to make it seem like this. And I'm just being real
Yeah.
because I could talk to somebody. Okay,
Okay.
Mhm.
You're in a safe place.
I and
right
my husband, we are separated.
now. Okay.
Okay, so and we have been separated.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna post pictures of me and my husband just to let other people see that everything is okay when
Right.
it's not
Okay,
okay.
gotcha.
Yeah, yeah,
understand.
yeah.
But I'm not gonna post that everything is not okay. So that's one thing I'm not gonna do is post that we're not okay. But I'm
Okay.
not gonna post as if everything is okay.
Okay. Gotcha.
So I have to, just be real transparent about that because a lot of people out there posting pictures. Probably, I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I know quite a few people that post pictures
Okay.
and things are going on, but I'm not going to do that.
Okay. I got
So
you.
that's why I don't do it, and that's why I'm in a protective.
So it's
mode.
almost like you in the space, an awkward space. Like I'm not finna put it out there, but at the same time, I mean, I'm not gonna put it out there because I'm
Hey,
not finna
Patricia.
put a facade out there for y'all.
right.
But at the same time, I'm not gonna post how people post today, everything that you got going on in your life about him and what he ain't doing and all
Exactly.
all this. And you know how
Exactly.
that go, all of this and all that. So it kind of leaves you in a place of I'm not gonna post.
Yeah, it's that's for me and him to deal with. What's going on with us. That's what's going on with us between me, him, and God.
Right.
Gotcha.
Until deliverance,
Right.
until restoration,
Exactly.
until those
Praying.
things.
Yeah.
Because that's when you come out of
Mm-hmm.
those modes that we're talking about. It's like, okay, we overcome by, I always say this, we overcome by the words of our testimony, not the words of our moaning.
Right.
So sometimes when we're going through, it's not meant for social media because this is the world that's watching.
Right.
It's not meant for everybody to chime in on your stuff
Right.
because you haven't even figured it out yet.
Exactly.
Hey,
Exactly.
Just a couple of shout outs. Hey, Patricia. Thank
Hey,
you
Patricia.
again. Hey, Aiden Laster. Thank you, man, for tuning in.
Hey, Aiden,
And my dad is on. What's up, Dad? What's going on with you?
the father of Shift. Hey, Dad.
Restoration does not depend on who caused the pain.
Mm.
It does not depend on who caused it. So when we allow God to work in us and deliver us from the pain that somebody else caused, we're giving that to God because actually, again, what they did was touched on something that is inside of us that
Right.
needs to be healed.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They touched on that.
Right.
And sometimes and God is his ways and our ways are just they are not the same. So what we think would deliver us from some pains is not how God would do it. He
Absolutely.
would put somebody in your life
Right.
to touch those things
That's right.
Stir them up.
to
That's
stir
right.
them up,
Yeah.
to
Come
stir
on.
up the pot,
Yeah.
to make, like, oh, wow, I need to be delivered from this because I'm still cussing. Because I hear the saying, oh, you done made me cuss. No, that cussing was inside of you.
Hey,
Right. Right.
Listen,
Right.
this
You
the
done-
funny part. Pastor J used to always blame me like that.
Yeah.
You made me feel like this.
You
and
made me-
And I
no.
would, let me tell you what I would say. I can't make you do any of
Yeah.
that. What you going through is what's already in there.
Yeah,
He used to
it's
get
already
so
in there.
frustrated
Yeah.
with me.
Yeah.
It's
that's
already in
good.
He
there.
used to get so, but I had to learn that for me first, though. I can't say that to you, and I don't know that for me.
Right.
Because I can't sit up and point the finger at everything and everybody around me and outside of me
Yeah.
and not point inside of me.
That's right.
That's the problem. That's why so many people are
Yeah.
in survival mode.
Yeah.
That's why so many people use manipulation to control circumstances all on the exterior. Because if I can control it,
Yeah.
I'll be able to survive this.
That's right.
But
Yeah, that's right. That's why I was just telling you earlier about, it was in me.
mhm.
I know it was. I know
Yeah.
that was something I had to deal with. Just to know when, just to know who was going to trigger me to
Right.
do
Yeah,
it. But
yeah.
I had been working on myself for years. I've been by myself for years. And so I didn't have, besides prayer and sisters praying for me and
Yeah.
with me,
Yeah.
I was holding a lot of things in, volunteering. And,
Yeah.
I was medicating it right through volunteering,
Yeah.
Yeah.
podcasts,
Staying
Gotcha.
busy.
in the
Yeah.
Bible, doing
Yeah.
journaling
Yeah.
and, writing and all that stuff. But then I was suppressing all that pain
Absolutely.
out there advocating for other women,
Yeah.
other men and women in prison,
Yeah.
children at the school. And, at the same time, I was suppressing
Yeah.
all that pain.
Yeah. Because you know what happens too, Tony? The thing is, what we do is we fall back on really the process that we go through. So what we make, like prime example, you said I don't post because I don't want people to think this, and I don't post because I don't want to actually tell a false story. You posting ain't got nothing to do with where your situation is.
Right.
You posting says, you know what, I'm happy where I am.
That's right.
Whether we together or not.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because I know what God is doing in me.
That's right.
So it ain't about the situation. It's about what God is doing in you.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times we miss, not, and I'm not saying you, but when I talk, I promise you, I put myself on front street.
Yeah.
Because I was the main one. It was a lot of things that I just did. I felt like people were gonna look at me strange, like, ooh, how he gonna tell me? And he ain't got it right. He on his second marriage, and he did this and that, and it's like. But again, I had to think like, wait a minute, God is doing great things for me.
He sure is.
Yeah.
So I don't care what you say.
Come on, come on.
Look, you gonna see where I am.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you don't dictate my deliverance, and what, like you said, this is between us and God. But people, and that's one thing I had to do. I had to get delivered from the opinions of people,
Right.
because the opinions of people will keep you in that hidden space.
Yeah.
It will keep
Yeah.
you there. And I said, you know what? No, I gotta get delivered from the opinions of people.
Right.
Because I promise you, the ones that are being opinionated, those are the ones that are actually going through themselves.
Right.
Because if they really was able to be open about where
And be
they are,
honest about
and
it.
be honest about it, I guarantee you they ain't nowhere better than where your shoes are.
Yeah.
Because they
Right.
got holes in their shoes too.
Right.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So no, this is that's why I said healing is not pretty, and it is so important to really put ourselves, especially when it's healing, put ourselves around people who really understand where we are, because because that's a person that can actually be a safe space for you.
Yeah.
Be a safe, a landing ground for this
Gotta
thing that
have
I
the
think
right
is
people
ugly.
around
So you
you.
gotta have the right people. And then another thing is we can't be afraid. We said this last week. We can't be afraid of losing people.
That's right.
Because a fear of losing is what keeps us holding on to things that God is saying, no,
Yeah.
I'm trying to take this away from you. But
Yeah.
our fear of losing, because we didn't have it when we were little. Our dad left, so this is a loss. This is, my mom said something about it and I never got this, so this is a loss. So we thinking if this person who we know is toxic, we know the situation is toxic, and we scared to lose this person. And God is saying, wait a minute. I've created you in my image.
Wow.
I've created you above and not beneath.
Yeah.
I created you to be the lender and not the borrower.
Right.
And we sitting here supposed to be in having these characteristics of God, but we are staying in situations
Yeah.
that God is saying, no.
That's what I'm talking about, because you said something. I watched my mom and my dad, and they separated when I was a very young girl. I come from a very unpolished background, abusive home. However, I wanted to keep my marriage. I wanted to save my marriage. I'm still married, but I wanted to just really have this beautiful marriage. So
Right.
I was putting up with so much because I wanted to. I'm like, God, please, going on 30 years, right?
Right.
And I'm like, Lord, save my marriage year after year after year, And so I did everything I could possibly do
Wow.
until I couldn't take it no more. And like I always say, because I am an advocate with the Women's Center, and
Yeah.
I've been for almost 29 years.
Yeah.
I've been going through, y'all. Okay, I've been going through, and we, sometimes we go through so much, and we don't want nobody to know. We don't want anyone to know. We want to make, like I said, we want to make everything look good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going to church, okay. You're a pastor, right? Okay. Counseling,
Yeah.
the Bible,
Yeah.
what the pastors and everybody say. God don't like divorce.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Liza.
So, I have stayed in my marriage maybe about 15 years longer than within the 30 years now, because I was told, just counsel. Just do the horizontal and all this old kind of stuff, and y'all just need some counseling. but I'm telling you what's happening. But you sweeping it up under the rug, just telling me I need some counseling, and just disregarding how I feel. Y'all just need some counseling while I'm still, going through.
Bleeding.
Now, in defense of my husband, he's not here, but let him, if he was here, he would say his part. But what I'm saying from a woman perspective, and being in the church, it's a lot of things that, and I'm just gonna say this:
Say it.
that church should do. They need to do more. Not, some churches may do that. I don't know which ones, but talk more about abuse. When a woman like myself come to the ministry and say, I am being abused verbally, mentally, psychologically, and sometimes physically. What can you do about it? Y'all just need some therapy and counseling.
I agree.
I
agree.
No.
I agree, because as you're sitting here talking to me, I've heard a lot of that. Like when someone is telling you, the pastor is telling you, or the ministries at church are telling you, just pray about it, just pray about it. And then they just telling you what the Bible says. Then it's hard sometimes to say, okay, but do you really understand what I'm going through? I'm telling you that this is what I'm going through. Like you said, physically, psychologically, spiritually, emotionally, all that I'm being, it's an abnormal use going on here. And
abuse.
They don't know anything to do but to say pray. But I think that we should take it further. I think we should take it further in getting an understanding. First of all, you got your war clothes on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
First of all, there comes a moment of protecting yourself. I mean, God protecting you. You got your war clothes on. There are, when I tell you, so many tactical moves in the Bible for God's children, because he didn't leave us blind to the devil's devices. We just don't know how to actually find them and execute them properly. We interpret how we think it should go. And the to scave over and say, well, just pray, God don't like divorce. No, he don't.
Right.
He don't. But if you don't like divorce, then tell me how to navigate this situation I'm in, God.
Right.
And he will help you and understand a lot of things. And everybody's story is different.
Right.
God is going to use everybody to do his will the way he need them to do it. Some people, some people, because people are getting divorces today, you got some people who God is using who has been in divorce that can speak to those people who are going through divorce.
Right.
So even though that situation is something God may not like, he'll still use it.
That's right.
To help somebody else who's hurting in that same situation, to bring them to himself. So it's almost like we don't know how to really respond to it. So instead of responding the way God would and asking the Holy Spirit to help us to know what to say to this person, we just say pray.
Yeah, and then you have family. You don't want to put your family in your business. I'm just talking for me,
That's
right?
true.
Yeah, gotcha.
That's true.
Because once you put your family in your business, and then you go back to that person, it could be your husband, or it could be vice versa. It could be the woman can be abusive too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she go back or he go back, and then you didn't made this picture and portrayed your person out of a bad person, and now she's back with them. She's gonna go back with them, and I had to go through that all the time, because I'm like, most of the time, the first 10, 15 years of my marriage, it was because of financial reasons. I stayed in it because finances. And then the finances started getting bad, and this is a whole different conversation dynamic of what was going on, because y'all know me. We lived close to each other before, and y'all had counseled us before, but y'all counseled us on a different perspective. And Brother Jesse, Pastor Jesse, he wasn't slacking up.
No,
I remember he wasn't slacking up, but I'm in my healing stage right now, and I'm praying for my husband. Shout out to him. He's not in the very best health. and I'm still there for him
Mm-hmm.
despite of everything. But at the same time, I'm going to be working with prayerfully with the Fourth Min Area Women's Center, speaking to religious organizations on when it comes to domestic violence and sexual assault. Because you can be sexual assaulted in a marriage too, as well. No means no, and we're doing a campaign right now for that. So, I'm excited about that because I want to see healthy relationships,
Yeah.
and healthy marriages.
Yeah.
I've been through it, so I want to be able to help in that area.
So Liza put Liza's somebody that we love dearly, and
She been rocking with us.
she's been
for a
rocking with
minute.
us for a while,
Hey,
and,
Alonzo.
and she's she commented about you shouldn't stay for other people's opinions and stuff like that. So,
Right.
and then she also asked the question, where is God? Where is God hates divorce in the Bible? It says, the man who hates and divorces his wife, says the Lord, the God of Israel, does violence to the one he should protect, says the Lord Almighty.
Mm.
And it also says here in not Deuteronomy, Matthew, Jesus emphasizes that marriage is meant to be permanent. What God has joined together, let no one separate. So just a couple of scriptures. But here's the thing. Tony, first of all, thank you so much for being transparent. This is what we about.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm
definitely-
just like, yeah.
We definitely. So
yeah.
we just want to thank you for your transparency.
Absolutely.
And I will say this: at some point, you have to realize, and I would say this in front of Coach, because I know him too personally. I love him dearly. But at some point, you got to realize when it's out of your hands and I can no longer do this, not like this. Especially when there's the husband who does not submit to God, because that's where the error is. Because if he can't submit to God, there's no way he can love you. If he can't submit to God, there's no way that he could be the husband that you need him to be, and that you can't be the wife you need to be for him if he's not in place with God. Because you can't tell me he's in place with God and he's abusive. There's that's not even God. That's not even a characteristic of God. So how can you submit to a man that's not submissive? Because even though submission is voluntarily, it's still an order to that submission. So there's no way. So at some point, you have to say, you know what? I cannot submit to somebody who's not submitted to God. That's the bottom line.
That's right.
There's no way, because you've been created to do that. He said, he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor. So how can you be this good thing and he's not even in his word? And he's not submitted to God, so he don't even see the worth that's in you. And also the Bible says, if an unbeliever departs, you let him do so, and you're no longer bound. You know what that means? Even if I don't believe this marriage is going to work, I don't believe. It's no way, because if I trust a God who does all, who sees all, who knows all, who can do all, if I don't trust this man, I don't believe.
No, yeah.
There's no way. I don't believe.
Right.
So what we're doing is we're going to people for the answer that God has already given us.
See.
We're going to people who are not equipped, who are telling you something, and let's just keep it 100. You're going to people where God has already said, hey, listen, if I'm not involved in this, then there is no marriage.
Yeah.
You know, I was sitting here thinking, God said, my ways not like your ways. Your ways not like mine. I think we're very hard in you. I'm like in an airplane. I'm high up and I look down and I can see everything, the span of everything, right? He don't think like us. So therefore, what I was thinking about was this. There could be a lot of things that God has placed in that marriage that he's going to use to help heal you in certain places. But because, like, remember you said, and this is not just for you, but remember you said, because I think different.
Yeah.
I think so different. I think so different.
We're going to come back to the
When
comments.
somebody is in my life that stirs me up in certain ways, what they're doing is they're helping me.
Mm.
They helping me to see that mess in me that I thought I healed when I
Yeah.
was on my healing journey, when I was by myself. See, when you by yourself, everything is healed.
That's right.
But when that person comes along and starts stirring up some mess that's in me, and I start seeing the ugly in me, that person just helped me. But what we do instead is we blame that person, we get upset with that person, we angry with that person. Not saying we want to be abused, because that's a whole nother beast by itself. But at the end of the day, if you in my life and you are causing me to be triggered by some pains in my past, that means that right there, God, I need you to help me heal that.
Amen.
And another thing, sometimes we do want to go to the pastor and to the counselor, and God do say go to counselors.
That's right.
A Christian,
Yeah.
what he say? People that
I'm
can
doing
counsel you.
therapy. Right.
Okay, but at the end of the day, look, I went through, me and my husband, a lot of things I wasn't used to going through. I wasn't used to someone cussing in my direction. You know how people say cussing at me, cussing in my direction.
Yeah.
I wasn't used to people getting angry at the drop of a hat, and I'm trying to do everything. I wasn't used to none of that. My household, my parents, that we didn't have that. But when you love somebody and you care for somebody, you tend to go through things a little too long sometimes when you're dating, and Lord forbid you get married with that same kind of characteristics and personality. But at the end of the day, man, I had to go to God for it.
Yeah.
Nobody could, because God's ways not like our ways.
Yeah.
Nobody could tell me the things that God told me and showed me that helped me now to talk to other women and tell them to show them that same stuff that God himself showed me and shared with me to heal my marriage. Sometimes the reason why the marriages don't heal is because we go into people.
That's right.
Sometimes the reason why the marriages don't heal because we going outside and not looking inside. Lord, why did what he just did make me this angry? What was it about him? What is that? Help me pull that root up out of there, so I will no longer go. Peace.
Yeah.
In the midst of what?
Trouble.
I got it.
So let me, before you say something, we got a couple of comments I just want to go back and address. Eliza said, "How can God hate something that He let be put in order?" Where in the Bible does it say that God let marriage be put in order? God created marriage, right? And that right, Aunt Liza?
Well, see, the thing about marriage too, Aunt Liza, and anyone else that's listening, is simply this. When two people come together to become one, what we're doing is we're doing something that God created. When the enemy comes against a marriage and he comes against he gets in your ear and try to influence you. God is all powerful. Satan don't have no power, but he has him. Oh, I'm sorry. Ooh,
Can I finish?
I'm
This
sorry.
a whole baby
'Cause it's-
right here.
'cause
Yeah,
it's-
yeah.
ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Okay,
whole-
go ahead,
And
Pastor
then
Jay, my bad.
my dad said,
I did it.
God
didn't I? I was
divorced.
gone.
My dad said God divorced Israel. He wasn't married to Israel, Dad. He was married to the church. They said the church, because that was the comparison of who, marriage. He said,
Oof.
love like Christ loved
Love
the
that
church.
Christ loved the church.
So,
Love you. Yeah.
so the ecclesia is his bride, and it never said he divorced his bride. But going to what my wife was saying, and I understand that when it comes to something that God hates, he hates it because it goes against his nature.
Goes against
Exactly.
his nature.
It goes against his nature.
does, yeah.
And if he's created something and we do the exact opposite of what he created, then that goes to why he hates it.
Yeah, and so I've
Yeah.
had so many people, and people that knows me, I'm known a lot. So in the community, my husband too as well. So many people have said, Tony, why haven't you not divorced? The ones that know the situations that I've been going through.
Okay.
And I tell them, I'm like, God ain't told me to
Absolutely.
divorce my husband.
Gotcha.
Mm.
And
We separated, but he
yeah,
ain't
I
told me to
understand that.
divorce him.
So I got you on Liza. That's the divorce, the letter of it. Okay. And that was, he said, because of the hardness of their hearts.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
why.
He allowed you to
because
write a letter
our
of
hearts
divorce.
are hard.
Hard. I got you on Liza.
But if we figure out why our hearts are hard, then we'll understand why divorce is an option.
But again, going to, not to cut you off, babe, I'm sorry, but I have to, we kind of come from both sides and both angles of it, because at the end of the day, what she's saying is right. It's truly what the source that we go to, because sometimes, we're not careful. We'll go to somebody who will just give you, hey, go on and pray. counseling, knowing that they don't counsel and they don't refer you or have that set up. And the church should be set up like that, because the fivefold ministry should be in every church.
But we should deal with we should deal with the root issues, the
root, right?
The root issues. Like,
Yeah.
I come to you and say, my husband around this church, these women calling him, and I'm being disrespected,
Yeah.
and that's like a whole other situation. So I'm going
Yeah.
through, if you know if you know a man is married in the church, and you ain't got no business calling this man and texting him. If you know a woman is married in the church,
Yeah.
you ain't got no business calling and texting that woman.
Especially if
Yeah.
she's not comfortable with
Yes.
it.
Elijah said,
So
she said, I'm a woman of God for been for years and been married for 23 and together for 26. I have filed for divorce, but it was a mutual decision. We understand. We definitely understand.
So, as a pastor, Pastor Jay, how would you look at a situation, like you answering the questions, how would you look at a situation like, if I was to come to you and tell you I'm being verbally and mentally abused, if someone was to come to you, how would you handle that?
Well, again, that goes with the topic of what we're talking about, because all of that, the verbal abuse and the however he's doing it, it comes from somewhere. That's just the response of really what's going on the inside. There's something going on. There's a pain, because remember I said earlier, a lot of times we're angry, and we're angry for you. He may not even be angry with you. You may just be touching on that anger. So the whole point is we got to find out, what is it that's making him angry? Why is he responding through this anger? There's a root cause. So we have to go back and deal with, that's me as a counselor. We got to go back and deal with that. There's something going on. We got to get to the root of this, because if we don't get to the root of this, I know, and it's probably, and I know Coach, because he's stubborn as I don't know what. He's stubborn. I tell him I call it, because I love him like that. He my brother, and I tell him all the time. I talk to him raw. One thing I do, and a lot of times, there's a guy I'm counseling now. He said, "Man, I don't like telling you stuff." He said, "Because you hold me accountable."
Yeah.
Some people don't want to be held accountable to getting better. They done got so comfortable in where they are till this is how they really know how to survive. Because being delivered is something new. It's uncomfortable. But He don't want you to be comfortable. He wants change. Change means God is moving you because you got too comfortable. So again, what I'm saying is, we'll go back and deal with the root. We'll find out what the root cause is. There's some things that are going on that have not been tapped into and that have not been dealt with, and it could have came from childhood. It could have came from an experience. It could have been even how he was raised. He could have been raised in a hostile environment, and this is what he knows. Behaviors are learned. Where are these behaviors learned from? And we did a segment before, like telling people how the mind is the fastest growing organ in the body. So what happens is, even as an infant, the mind is developing 75% as an adult. So everything that you learn as a child, is developing your mind. So could you imagine, from a childhood to an adult, what has developed your mind and your level of thinking?
Right.
This is why there is counseling, so that we can change the mindset. So there has to be a mindset shift, and when you shift the mindset, then you shift the heart, because according to Scripture, the mind and the heart work together.
Yeah.
Because He said, out of the abundance of the mouth, the heart speaks. So I'll quote the Scripture right here.
Abundance of the heart.
Yeah, the mouth speaks. But the whole point is, those two organs line up together, and it brings out a response. It brings out an action. So if your heart is wrong, or your heart is feeling a certain way, then your mind is thinking about it. And your mind is, once your mind start thinking about it, that's where the battlefield is. Then you starting to respond in ways that only what you telling yourself or what you've been through. So there's a shift that has to be gone in this level of thinking.
Find you a place of safety.
Mm-hmm.
Find you a place of safety. If you are being abused, we have to, and this doesn't make it go against God or the church or any of that. But I'm not going to hear someone come to me and say they're being abused, and I don't tell them, find you a place of safety.
Right.
If you feel like your
Right.
life
Right.
is in danger,
Mm-hmm.
we see so many social media stories, so many news reports, especially today, where people say, if I had just said this when she told me he was doing this, and they blame themselves and they're riddled with guilt behind the fact that they did not rescue that person that came to them for help, but instead they said something that caused them to feel like that they had to stay in an unsafe place. I don't believe that God will penalize anyone for being safe.
Yeah, and it's nobody's fault. It's nobody's fault when they're being abused. It's nobody's fault. Um, hurt people hurt people,
Yeah.
and I just thank God because I'm in a safe place.
Mm-hmm.
And we talking about marriage and divorce and things like that of that nature, but people may question why I didn't divorce him because God hadn't told me to. He's a sick person. He's sick.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm safe. I can go
Yeah.
on and on and on.
Yeah.
It's so, if I was to really just share
Mm.
my whole
I can only
story,
imagine.
and I have ran out the house. I've gotten hotels, ran out 2-3 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sharing. I'm being transparent now and sharing a lot of things that people just don't know, and some people do know.
Mm-hmm.
I had to go stay a lot of places, me and my children, and my kids may even see this, and they're grown now, and they know I'm telling the truth. And it's not like that I'm just I'm talking, saying everything. It's just because if it's somebody out there
Mm-hmm.
that may be going through the same thing, just like you said, keep yourself in a safe place.
Eliza
Yeah.
gonna tell you she's saying it all over. I ain't get to read all her comments, but she's saying, "Look, sis, don't you let nobody." Eliza, like, look, leave.
But
Eliza,
at the same time, it's what you do when you're in that safe place that matters most. So you're
What-
still married. So yes, while you're in that safe place, you need God to at that point start healing, helping you in those places to heal you in ways when you're in survival mode, self-preservation. Half the time you don't even know it.
you
Half
know,
the
I'm sorry. Okay.
half the time you don't even know how you're affecting other people
Mm-hmm.
when you're in protection, when you're in defense all the time. And yes, it does come from a lot of hurt and things that you've gone through from childhood up until adulthood. If you've never dealt with it, it's like rotten in you. But
I've always struggled with this.
let me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm talking to Tony now, baby. So basically, I'm ending this by saying it's what you do in that safe place. Still pray for
Yeah,
him.
absolutely.
Still, you had front row seat to all the ugly.
Yes.
So now you say, Lord, I saw this, I saw that, I saw this. I know that he's still your child. Please help him right here, right here, right here, while you're in your safe place, while you're healing, because to heal is oftentimes to help somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, exactly. I just came from a very extensive training with the Fourth Benarian Women's Center. I know I speak about them a lot because it's when it comes to children, family, and even men get abused. It's really close to my heart because
Right.
I come from
Yeah.
that background as a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just came from doing a very extensive training. I had to go into no call mode to train and get this recertification with the Office of Attorney General. And I thought I was healed when I did my play back in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
I said I was healed.
Mm-hmm.
I did heal. But when some of this stuff came up when I did this training in March, oh my goodness,
Wow.
God showed me that I was healed.
It's still work to do. That's it. It's still work to
I
do.
always say I struggle with this because I'm saying this because I'm in my second marriage, and the Bible does say what God has joined together, let no man put us under. I truly believe that a lot of times we get in situations that God didn't put us in. We put ourselves in this situation. Like, we did this. Because I do know that, when he created Eve, he paraded Eve in front of Adam, and Adam chose her, then he took possession. But a lot of times God parades all of this, and then we just choose the one that God is not really. And I, because there's so many things that you can go, saying that, but I just truly believe, that sometimes God didn't join certain situations together, and we put ourselves in these situations. And even though God ordains and loves marriage, he will bless it. But how could you, and also the Bible says this, how can two walk together lest they agree? So sometimes we connect with people who are not even on the same spiritual path, not on the same mental path, and so we find ourselves in projects, saying,
I
instead
don't know.
Instead of, yeah,
I kind of beg to differ just
I'm
a
just,
little bit.
and that's fine.
I agree with a lot of what you just said. One thing that caught me, I believe that abuse begets abuse. I believe that when you are in a low place, that's what you choose. When you in that low place, all you see is everything low. So it's not necessarily, now I'm not going to say everybody, 'cause that's why I say I beg to differ a little bit. When you are low, like for instance, what you were saying, you come from an abusive household. So then what happened? You found what you were able most to
I was
cope
familiar with the trauma.
Right.
Trauma.
Yeah.
When you are in an abusive situation, you learn to cope.
Yeah.
And baby, you do a good job of fixing and working and putting it all together so you can survive in that situation when you're little, because you have no choice. You can't go nowhere.
I was like, y'all be quiet. He's coming in the house.
Right.
Don't say nothing.
You can't-
This is
Right.
what my mom, and I'm like, I learned. It was a
Exactly.
learned behavior.
Exactly. So when you go outside of that, even though you did not like it,
Yeah.
when you go outside of that, guess what you're going to look for? That. Because I learned how to cope there, baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know how to work that. I don't know how to do this other stuff,
Yeah.
but I know how to do that. So oftentimes people who are in survival mode, who are came from those situations, they look for something familiar. And unfortunately, that familiarity is right there.
Yeah, and even though, as a mother, I was nourishing my boys. I had boys, I was nourishing them, protecting them. But at the same time, they seen me going through, and it was still affecting them.
Yeah.
But I thought I was protecting them, doing the nourishing part, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, they seen it,
Yeah.
and it was affecting them.
Yeah.
I'm Eliza just commenting, but I agree with this comment, and this is what I say. It's hard to heal in the place that broke you. It's hard to heal in that place because it'll pull up triggers. And I want to read this because I wrote it down real quick about triggers. What triggers do is your emotional reactions reveal where healing is still needed. So if
That's
you're
good.
emotionally reacting in this place that broke you,
Yeah.
then that's a place that you cannot heal in because you're still going to
Wow.
be triggered.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
You're still going to be triggered. So it's hard to heal in those places.
And I agree with you because before he walked out, I could walk in the front and just cringe because I knew he was there.
Yeah.
But he left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I want to thank you, man. Like this is just what we about, and we get in the ears of a lot of people, and a lot of people tell us all the time, man, we love watching y'all because y'all are transparent, and that's what's missing even in the church, because what they say is go pray. We say, look, I was that person. So they say, thank you for your transparency because now I know what to do. Now I know what not to do. Now I know how to, okay, I'm not the only one that went through this. So because we are transparent, it helps people to really get delivered, and it allows them to see. Because, sometimes when you're in the situation, you really can't see because you're in it.
yeah.
But from the outside looking in, it's like, whoa, that was me.
Right. Look. Right. Yeah.
I had someone come to me and told me in a big church that we were going to, that I don't want to counsel them no more. They just been going through too much. I don't want to counsel them no more. Pastor.
Mm.
And one of the persons that was working with the pastor shared with me, find you somewhere else to go.
Mm.
But I never said anything.
The
Right.
pastor told him to find somewhere else to
The
go.
pastor told the assistant when we were setting up counseling, because because my husband was on crack cocaine.
Okay.
Crack cocaine for almost 13 years. But we had so many problems because it was so many things going on that he was doing in the church. We were like talking to women and doing the most. And it came back to us that need to find another church. Told us that we need to find another church because the pastor don't want to counsel y'all no more.
Oh, you.
Y'all, no, them told them that they need to find another church.
I was told.
For
Right.
counsel
Yeah.
or for your membership?
For not
Everything.
just
Everything. They were putting y'all out of the church.
just didn't put us out the church. Just said that they didn't want to counsel us anymore. But the person that was working with the pastor had came and shared with me, and that we needed to find suggested that we should find someone else to go because the pastor didn't want to counsel you anymore.
They didn't refer you to nobody. They just told you to find it. Oh, that's wrong.
Well, regardless of whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent, let's give a solution.
No, I get it, but let me do
No,
as a
not to
counselor,
that.
you don't.
Because we got. I'm
Yeah, I
just
got it.
saying,
No,
let's
I
give
get
a
it, 'cause we got-
solution to what should you do to help unlearn those survival mode tactics, those things that you learned when you thought you was protecting the babies, but they
Yeah.
was actually looking at you like, Mom,
Right.
who gonna protect you? And now
Right.
they have to go into this
Right.
defense mode themselves. It's like, what do we do to teach people? If we could just give one little statement, what would you say? And I know it's way more than a statement
Yeah.
to give,
Yeah.
but what would you say to help somebody who's listening to say, dog, I'm going to take that for myself when it comes to unlearning survival tactics?
Yeah, I would say it's with my case, survival tactics. When you're in an abusive situation, and you are in an abusive situation, you have to find and have a plan. Put a plan together, and make sure that if you have children, make sure you and your children are safe. You got to find a safe place. Beyond like myself, I stayed too long, and it devastated my family. You know, some things happened in the cause of it because of some of the things that my sons got involved in. They didn't want to be there, but just make sure that you're in a safe place. Get you a plan together. And I don't encourage anyone to walk out on their marriage, and I'm not saying that, but just find you someone that you could talk to. I have a dear friend that I could talk to, and she makes sure that I'm accountable for the things that I do, and make sure in therapy. I'm not saying don't get therapy, but counseling is good if both partners want to do counseling. But when there is abuse is abuse. You got to find a safe place.
Wow, that is amazing, man. Like, I'm enamored by the level of transparency. I'm enamored by it, because I know, first and foremost, I know what God can do, and I know how God can turn and use your story to help somebody else. So I encourage you.
And this is my first time really talking about it
Wow.
because I'm getting ready to be, I'm doing the podcast, and my podcast is going to be real raw and transparency. So I'm gonna be talking about it a lot because it's
If
time.
you need to bring
It's
us on the
time.
show, man, we'll come on. We'll come on.
definitely.
Well,
come on.
did you hear me say there's work to do?
Yes,
It's another play,
yes, it is.
and I want to be in it, okay?
Okay.
I could be. Don't hit me, Lou. Don't hit me.
No,
I
she's
could
a
do
real
that.
actor. I've been trying to call Tyler, but he won't pick up my
Don't
phone.
hit me,
Yeah.
Lou.
But
Yeah.
she probably won't act in Tyler
I mean,
Perry
that's not
because he
nothing to
cursed too
play
much.
with, but I'm
No,
telling
no,
you, I
no.
can't.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Oh, she
definitely.
can
do it.
It's in the working.
I
A
can
lot of
do
things
it.
is in the working. So yeah.
I
So,
would
I-
love
real
to
quick-
be that person.
real quick, we
helping
got a
you
couple
to help
announcements.
people heal in that way.
Amen.
Real quick. I got a couple announcements to make real quick because we got our time is gone.
Okay.
Two things I wanted to. I don't want to just dismiss my dad. He was talking about how God divorced Israel. A lot of times, and I forgot what the scripture where it was, but God used that as an example. He wasn't actually married to them, but because Israel kept doing kept doing wrong and kept not believing them and kept committing adultery, meaning that they were going and worshiping other gods. They kept going and worshiping other gods. They got caught worshiping Baal. They were worshiping golden idols. They kept doing that. So because they were doing that, God, he cut them off. So it was like an example.
But to that, Israel isn't considered a wife. They're the children.
Yeah. But I was just saying, I didn't want to just kind of leave that out there.
They're the children.
I just wanted to explain that. But all right, y'all. We got 2 announcements, y'all. First of all, I just want to thank God for talking tea with Tony.
Yes.
Came in here and we didn't know how to. We just was talking tea. We didn't know how it was gonna go. But we thank God. We truly thank God for her life, her testimony, and her story. Because I can't wait to see what God is going to do in your life.
Exactly.
I'm excited. I'm excited for you.
Amen.
And where God is taking you. And again,
it's all God.
Yeah, it's all God. So your deliverance should not depend on what people say or how people feel. So I encourage you, keep going. Keep pressing toward the mark of the high calling.
Yes,
keep going. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Get it. But anyway, with that being said, y'all, listen, y'all, God is taking us to another level. We are starting our church the first Sunday in May, 6:00 in the near Katy area. So if you in that area, man, y'all come on, stop by, man. We putting the band together now. We got the band. We got the preach word. So it's time,
it's healing time.
We've been doing the work, man. We've been in the streets.
I remember when y'all was kind of starting.
Yeah. So finally, we've been doing the work.
Amen.
We've been in the streets. I mean, praying for people in just restaurants and people turning their lives over and wanting, where's the church at? And we're like, we ain't got no church.
It's okay, y'all good people.
Yeah.
Some good people.
So we've been doing the work. So y'all, thank y'all for that. So if y'all come and support, man, just come out. This ain't about membership. This is about changing your mindset. This is about just being a part of something that's going to teach, that's going to empower you, that's going to encourage you, that's going to, and it's just going to be everything that you need. So come through. We're not asking you to be a member. We're asking you just to be a part. So come through. And secondly, Shift Real Talk is sponsoring another podcast. Man, it's Man Talk in the Man Cave. So we will be live tomorrow night, y'all.
Man Cave Talk with Big Lou and Pastor J.
And we got a guest coming on tomorrow.
Can I say something real quick?
Sure.
I watched the podcast last week, the first one. When I tell y'all, it is straight black coffee.
Oh, yeah.
And he's the chaser. Wow. the man that is one of the men that we are associated with, one of the men that Jesse calls brother now. He is, when I say raw.
Straight raw.
Straight Black Coffee. That's the name of his podcast, Straight Black Coffee. But Pastor J is the chaser.
Praise God.
Yes.
So it's a good mix. It make a nice little beverage.
Good.
Yes. Let me just give a quick shout out and we got to go. Aunt Liza, man, we love you.
Love you, Aunt Liza.
Still definitely praying for you.
Love
Patricia,
you, Dad.
we love you. Thank you so much for the congratulations. Dad, you already know. You dad. So that is,
all day.
And everybody that tuned in. I see D. Curry that was in earlier. So thank y'all for tuning in. And listen, y'all, we thank God for Talking Tea with Tony. Y'all
Absolutely.
check her podcast out, man. Powerful.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's going to invite us. This is going to be a tag team and going back and forth.
Yeah,
so I'm sure she's going to bring her where she can host and ask us questions.
Right. Well, tell the people how they can find you again.
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook, all social media platforms is Destiny Talk with T or Tony Caraway Smith. You can go on to my website at determineyourdestiny.com, DETERMINEUR destiny.com, and you can find all my information and socials on there. I'm also on YouTube too as well. So
Yes.
Awesome.
And listen, like, share, and subscribe, man. We are reaching a lot of people that are not subscribing to the channel. So you don't know that we are putting out content consistently. So I'm asking y'all out there, subscribe. We are on Spotify. We are on Apple TV, Apple Podcasts. We are on Peach Podcast. We on Banana Podcast.
Oh my.
We on Grapes Podcast. We on all the fruits.
Right.
Shift Real Talk. Check us out,
Shift
man.
Real Talk
Come on,
TV.
Come on, y'all. But
subscribe.
But listen, I'm your boy, Pastor J.
And I'm your girl, Lady Free, and we are honored to have in the house
Yeah.
Talking Tea.
Thank you. Thank
with
y'all for having me.
Tony.
Thank y'all so much for having me. It's
Thank
an
you for
honor.
coming on.
Thank you for coming. And until next time, same bad channel, same bad place. Call your friends, invite them in. Peace.
Peace.
Thanks for watching.